Hey, I'm Carlos Garcia, and today we're going over about 40 different bottles to review. I know some of you guys don't like this format, some of you guys do like this format, but I do it like once a month. And what we're doing is reviewing my 2 Whiskey Cigar Clubs, all my notes. Basically, I'm just reading off a bunch of different notes, our scores, our rankings. Also, on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, I stayed at my mother-in-law's house, brought a bunch of bourbon to make sure that every single bottle going into my top 25 of 2025 blind tournament was reviewed at least twice. And some of them I just wanted to review just again, or maybe for the first time or something like that. So there's a bunch of bottles that I reviewed not blind, which is probably the only bottles I reviewed all year not blind. We'll cover those too, but first let's do a giveaway. All right, so this giveaway is for part 4, the craft video. And I'm probably going to do another giveaway right after this one too, because I was behind one. So Jenny Bakowski, congratulations. Definitely an OG of the channel. So I set up the next giveaway, and this is for part 5, the expensive video. And here we go to see who wins that one. I'm trying to think of like what bottles are in these giveaways, but they're probably right behind the camera. JC, another OG. Look at that, 2 OGs back to back. So congratulations, and I'll get those samples out soon. If you haven't got your samples in the past like month, I was waiting for this the shipping cost to come down, so I do plan on getting the samples out soon. I have a whole little spreadsheet for you guys. So let's get into the multiple bottle review. This starts out my first Whiskey Cigar Club of December. Like in most months, we do 2. We're actually going to do 2 in January, including this Sunday coming up. So we're going to go over them in the order we drank them. So the first bottle we drank, this 10-year Westland Garryana American Single Malt. And I don't know if you guys heard the story about how like a bunch of these bottles got stolen right out of the warehouse. Like a delivery vehicle went there, was signing for them illegally, just like left with a bunch of these bottles and other bottles. So I was hoping that this was going to be good. We didn't like it. It came in last place for the group. I also was not a big fan of this. I scored this a 2.5. The group scored a 2.31, which is a terrible score. It came in 12th place. On the nose, unique, malt, smoky, dark fruits, malt, apples. Palate, malt, sulfur, green apple. So sulfur note's like the fireworks note. Finish, smoky, dark fruits, malt, chocolate. I think the sulfur note was the big issue with the Westland Garryana. So we go into the Heaven Hill. This one is the weeded bourbon, limited edition Chinquapin, the year of the Chinquapin bottles. So this scored a 3.5 for me, a 2.76 for the group. So significantly lower than what I scored it. Came in 10th place. Sweet oak light on the palate, sweet nutty red fruit, strawberry candy, purple Jolly Rancher. That's probably why I scored it higher than the rest of the group. Get that purple Jolly Rancher, man. I love it. Peanut and strawberry on the finish. Then we went to this Heaven Hill bourbon Chinquapin. So that one's a wheat. This is just a regular bourbon, so it's probably rye. Yep, 35% rye, 50% corn, 13% malt. So a high rye bourbon. I scored this a 3.5 again. The group actually scored this worse. Scored a 2.67 in 11th place. So the first 3 bottles we had in our lineup were the 3 bottom for the whole group. Actually, this also came bad. Oh man, I started these guys with bad bottles, I guess. So red fruit, sweet, smoky on the nose. Palate, oak, chocolate, cookie on the palate. Sweet, marshmallow, vanilla on the finish. Again, I thought it was okay. The group, not so much. This Cedar Ridge double barrel Iowa bourbon whiskey that I picked up when I was in Chicago. Scored a 3, so not so high. The group scored 2.79, came 9th overall, so again, not a good grouping right here. Savory, crafty, dark fruit, cookies, graham crackers. Palate, crafty, graham crackers, oak, dark fruit. Finish, red fruit, malt, question mark. Smoky, red apple. I expected a lot more from you. Didn't live up to what I was hoping for. Okay, let's go to the next 4. All right, now we get into some better whiskeys. This is the Hard Truth double oaked rye. I scored a 3.5. The group scored a 3. It came in 6th place. On the nose, red fruit, sweet, funky. On the palate, woody, spice, funky, proof. Interesting, because these drink in proof order. That's how I put these blinds together. 106.9. So I wonder if the proof was just the rye spice. Vanilla, red fruit, and then on the finish, vanilla, marshmallow, light, funky. Again, another bottle I was expecting a little bit more out of. All right, then we went to the other Heaven Hill. This is the rye one. This is the one that a lot of people have said is pretty decent. I scored a 3.4. The group scored a 3.09. 4th place overall. Oak, dark fruit, sweet, graham crackers, rye on the nose. Rye, red fruit, oak, sweet, woody, spice, chocolate on the palate, so complex for sure. On the finish, rye, marshmallow, oak, sweet, vanilla. Shockingly that I scored that 0.1 less than the other two Heaven Hill Grain to Glass ones. Okay, then we went to this Onyx and Amber Bourbon Whiskey. Now this is a pick from the Average Drinker and ADHD Whiskey. It has a tater sticker and it was so big that I didn't put it on there, and I saw a YouTube video recently with the Average Drinker, and she cut it out and put it on there. I was gonna do that, but now I can't find the sticker, so I gotta find the sticker. But this is a pick by, collab pick by them, and I scored a 3.8. I really like this. The group scored a 3.09. So on the nose, tropical fruit, mango, sweet, coconut. That is an interesting nose. On the palate, unique, tropical, green Jolly Rancher, sweet, mango, melon, honeydew. Man, I might have a pour of this right now. What? I definitely don't remember these notes. Finish, vanilla, tropical fruits, green grapes, mango, coconut. So very tropical thing. And I would be interested to see what their notes were on this. I was seeing if it had any notes on the bottle. Obviously 2 whiskey tubers did this. I'm sure there's a review on it from them. So I'll have to definitely check that to see if they got so many tropical notes on this. Very interesting bottle. Obviously I put this into the blind to see if it's going to go into my top 25 list. We'll see. Which as you guys are seeing this video, I am probably recording the first couple episodes of that tournament, because I at this point have my top 30. And then the winner of the whole lineup for this day was this Four Roses LE from 2025. I scored a 4.15. This was my second favorite of the day. Basically, me and the group swapped out first and second, but the overall scores were off by 0.02, so pretty close. Once you see second place, you'll understand why. But this was number 1 overall. I scored a 4.15. The group scored a 3.26. On the nose, wood, red fruit, oak, peanut. So on the palate, oak, savory flavors, woody, red fruit. So good. Great note. On the finish, vanilla, sweet, bubblegum, strawberry. So not the most complex, but I have reviewed this on the channel at least one time before. You can definitely check out a better review on it. Obviously, this is going through a bunch of, like 12 bottles at one time over a couple hours. So my notes aren't always the best, but I try to give you guys some notes for sure. All right, so let's go to the next lineup. All right, so then the final lineup, we have this Old 55 single barrel bourbon. I've never heard of this brand. This is actually an SLB pick. There's no sticker or anything on it, but this is a craft distillery. It's distilled in Newtown, Indiana. There you go, so you guys can see. But I don't see anything that says it's an SLB pick, but that is where I got it from. I scored a 3. The group scored a 2.83. Came in 8th place overall, so not our favorite. The nose, that grilled tomato note, crafty. On the palate, crafty, proofy, cardboard, red fruit. On the finish, cardboard, red fruit. And again, that crafty note is usually grainy and cardboardy, but if I specifically write the cardboard, that kind of just means it's more of that than the grain. Okay, and then the Penelope 13 year that's been on the channel a few different times, including when I did a collab video with SLB. Threw in here for these guys because they haven't tried it yet. I scored a 3.5. The group scored a 2.86. Came in 7th place. Oaky, marshmallow, peanut, woody on the nose. Green Jolly Rancher, fruity, oak, green Jolly Rancher. I wrote green Jolly Rancher twice. I certainly did. Woody on the palate, and on the finish, green Jolly Rancher, oak, peanut butter. So I enjoy it. Obviously, it's been on the channel a couple times. My favorite of the day and second place overall for the group was I scored a 4.2. The group scored a 3.24. Red fruit, oak, sweet, vanilla. On the palate, red fruit, sweet oak, darker, spicy, nutty. On the finish, sweet vanilla. So good. Trying to read my own handwriting. But obviously, that's the Russell's Reserve Single Brick House Camp Nelson E that came out this year. The Jack Daniel's Hero Selection, which I think the video before this video last Friday was the rye that actually had that in there. That came in second in that video. In this blind, it came in third. I scored a 3.6. It would have been my third place. And overall, the group scored 3.13. On the nose, rye, banana, somewhere I can't read, sweet. On the palate, oak, rye, sweet, woody. On the finish, red fruits, peanut, oak, vanilla. So that's the first Whiskey Cigar Club of December. Let's get into the next one. All right, so then we went into a whole different day, different group of guys. I think there was me and another guy that were at both tastings. So we start off with an expensive bottle right off the rip, but again, I go in proof order. So this is the Remus Gatsby, which I enjoy. I scored a 3.5. The group scored a 3.2. And that still came in 7th place. So obviously different people score different ways. So different groups scoring is a little bit different than other groups, but I look at the rankings. But overall came in 7th place. Cherry, wood, vanilla, an off-putting note on the nose. On the palate, strawberry, red fruit, oak, sweet. On the finish, red fruit, oak, sweet. All right, surprised I got an off-putting note on the nose, but you guys know I care more about the palate and finish than the nose. Okay, then we had the Remus 9. And I scored that 2.5. It's not my favorite. Every time I've had this, just hasn't done well for me. The group scored a 2.77 and it came in 11th place. Peanut grainy on the nose, peanut grainy popcorn butter on the palate, butter popcorn on the finish. Okay, then we go 1C. This is Penelope 10 year. I scored a 3.5. The group scored a 3.27, which came in 5th place. So close to the 3.2 here. And the 6th place had to be right between that. So a lot of close scoring. On the nose, light soap. I remember this one. On the palate, light, crafty, spice, sweet, red fruit. And on the finish, tasty, sweet, red fruit. Not bad at all. So then something I picked up, where did I pick this up? Oh, okay, yeah. So I went to a liquor store and they were basically selling some stuff at cost. And so I picked this up in the rye, which is the next bottle coming up. So this is a Kinsey 8-year bourbon. So this is blended and bottled. Nowhere does it say distilled by Kinsey, but the fact that it says blended, I'm sure it's sourced. Just a limited release and 8 years, no kind of finishing or anything like that. Just so you guys can see this bottle. It didn't score that well, so I wouldn't recommend it. I don't think it was that expensive anyways. I scored a 2.5, the group scored a 2.95, and it came in 10th place. On the nose, chocolate. On the palate, crafty, youthful, red fruit. On the finish, crafty, okay. So not my favorite, obviously. There's only one bottle that scored lower than these two, and it's the next one. Let's get into the next lineup. All right, so the bottle that scored the worst for me was this. It's the same brand, Kinsey. This is a rye, finished in Amarone wine cask. Again, blended bottle, so it's sourced, I'm sure. Limited release as well. There you go, that's the label. I scored a 2. Which is not a good score for me at all. Sulfur, fireworks, sweet on the nose, on the palate, sulfur, dark fruit, sweet, finish, same exact thing, sulfur, dark fruit, sweet. I scored a 2, which is pretty much the lowest thing I score things. The group overall scores a 1.75, so it was not a fan favorite at all. It came in last place. Okay, so then we go to the Bardstown Disco 13, which has been reviewed on the channel recently. I scored a 3.5. The group scored a 3.31, came in 4th place overall. Good bottle, especially coming off of something we did not enjoy. The nose, light, wood, sweet. Palate, woody, nutty, sweet, and on the finish, nutty chocolate. So not a lot of notes, but I have reviewed this recently, so you can definitely check a more thorough review. The Bardstown Ferrand was right after this. I scored a 3.5 as well. The group scored a 3.25, and it came in 6th place. Light, red fruit, orange. Oh, this is the one that got a lot of orange notes on. On the palate, woody, orange, purple, Jolly Rancher, and on the finish, orange, woody. Very citrusy, orangey on the Ferrand. Fountain North, Snow Day. If you guys watch the bourbon judge, Marcus over there, this is his whiskey of the year. I was fortunate to get 2 of these bottles because you were able to buy 1 or 2. I ended up getting 2. I ended up giving the other one as my Secret Santa gift in a bourbon exchange that we do locally here. Lucky him. I do enjoy this. I scored us a 3.25. The group scored a 3.18. It came in 8th place overall. Dark fruit, jammy on the nose, palate, oak, dark fruit, cinnamon, and on the finish, oak, dark fruit, cinnamon, and some sulfur. So like a little bit of fireworks note. This is something like, I know it's called Snow Day. It has that like Christmassy fall spice, like Christmas spice type notes in it. So I think maybe that's why they call it Snow Day, possibly, I don't know. But those notes are definitely good for this time of year. Really enjoy that. So let's go into the next lineup. Okay, a few more bottles I've reviewed on the channel. Maybe not this one, but these three for sure. We have this rare character 12, batch 12, I was about to say 12-year-old bourbon, but batch 12 bourbon, and I scored us a 3.25. The group score a 3.09. Came in 9th place overall. Nose, banana, oak, red fruit, sweet, crafty. On the palate, oak, red fruit, vanilla, and on the finish, oak, peanut butter, and quick. We have the Redwood Empire. This is the Haystack Needle. This is the 119.8 proof. I did just get the other one. So Connecticut exclusive. Distributors did 2 barrels and they distributed to the different stores. And there's this one, the 119.8, and then there's another one that's like I think 116 point something. But I like this one so much, I was like, well, let me try the other one, because there's conflicting reports on who likes what better. So I was like, whatever, I'll just buy both now and see. But I do enjoy this. I scored a 3.5. The group scored a 3.53, so almost dead on. Came in 3rd place overall. Light, sweet, creme brulee on the nose. On the palate, vanilla, red fruit, sweet, light. Finish, vanilla, red fruit, sweet. Pretty sure it says yummy, woody. My handwriting, once I get to the last couple, it just goes right out the window. Not that it's that good beforehand. Okay, so then the Jack Daniel Tanyard Hill Rye. This is almost a fresh crack. I got this bottle the day before, I believe, a Whiskey Cigar Club, but I did open it immediately when I got it from Santa Claus. I scored a 3.6. This was my favorite of the day. This group scored a 3.65, and it came in 2nd place. And for me, oak, slight marker note, vanilla. On the palate, oak, slight marker, sweet, spice, vanilla, rich. On the finish, rye, spice, oak, sweet, vanilla. Obviously, I just reviewed this on the last episode and it scored, I think, a 3.9 and a 1. I don't remember off the top of my head if I got the marker notes. Hopefully, maybe more air in it kind of got that away. I don't remember. And the winner of the day with a 3, or I scored a 3.5, the group scored a 3.69, so barely beating out the Tanyard. At first place is this River Roots, which I also reviewed recently. This Hasberry Blast. This is a hazmat 13 year 9 month River Roots store pick, and it won whatever video was on recently with it. Red fruit, oak, sweet, nutty. On the palate, vanilla, oak, nutty. On the finish, oak, vanilla, nutty. So not so complex, but again, towards the end of these tastings, I'm just writing whatever I can get and seeing how much I like it or not. But if you want a more in-depth review of this, it's in I think last Wednesday's video. It was definitely recent. Okay, so let's go into the bottles I reviewed non-blind for New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. All right, so the theme of a lot of these were kind of just to either, if I haven't opened them and tried them to see if they're gonna go in my top 25, or if I already created, by this point, I already created my like top 50 list, and if it was close to being in the top 25 and I only reviewed it one time this year, I wanted to make sure I reviewed it at least twice. Almost everything on my top 25 list has been reviewed multiple times on the channel, but I just want to make sure that everything had at least 2 reviews. Now, this it's not in my top 25, but I bought this because if anyone wanted bourbon, this is what I was going to give them. But because it's so low proof, I started with this and I did review it. So I was like, so I'll let you guys know. It's not my favorite. It's a cheaper bottle. It's low proof, but it is 15-year-old age dated. So it's the I.W. Harper, 15-year-old bourbon. It's a cool bottle. Definitely like a nice decanter bottle. My wife just picked up 2 of these bottles for me at the base and they were super cheap. So you'll see that in the haul video for December, which I'm guessing I'll do this week at some point. I don't know. I have like 4 videos I have to drop for 3 days. So we'll see what happens. On the nose, oak, vanilla, red fruit, sweet, great nose. On the palate, oak, watered down wood, spice, On the finish, light, smoky, oak, sweet. So I scored at 2.75. Then we go to these 2 different Old Forester 117s. This is the extra old bourbon. Banana cream pie, chocolate oak, vanilla nose. oak, wood, vanilla, sweet, light dark fruit on the palate. On the finish, smoky red apple, vanilla, marshmallow. I scored at 3.25. And then the regular 117 extra old bourbon, banana cream pie, oak, vanilla. So basically the same nose as the extra old, except minus the chocolate. Palate. Whoa! I'm done. Oak, woody, vanilla, sweet, dark, dusty, woody notes. Dark, dusty, woody notes. No commas there. On the finish, red fruits, vanilla, sweet, green Jolly Rancher. I did score this a little bit less with a 3.15. Okay, then we go to the Michter's 10-year bourbon. This is barrel 25C0951. You know, lower proof, 94.4. On the nose, dank, sour oak, red fruit, vanilla. On the palate, woody oak, cardboard, sweet vanilla. I don't want to hear that cardboard. Now this is, let me just finish. Nutty, baking spices, cardboard, sweet, red fruit. Now this is a bottle, obviously I wanted to confirm to be on my top 25, and I think it basically got itself out of the top 25 because it did not do well. It was kind of a fringe bottle, so I know this is on a lot of people's top 5, 10 lists. I'm pretty sure this will not make my top 25. I scored a 3.15. Obviously, these are single barrels. It is what it is. But this wasn't my favorite, and I've enjoyed these over the years. I did win the right to buy one from the New Hampshire lottery. So I do have another single barrel, so I'll see how that one is, but this one wasn't my favorite. Okay, then we go to this Conviction 7. This bottle won my blind with the other Conviction. I know a lot of people are very high on Conviction, the double oaked. But when I did a blind, this is the one that won. I brought this just to kind of see again. Crafty, grilled tomato, savory. On the palate, crafty, cardboard, savory, sweet, dark fruits. And on the finish, peanut, oak, sweet. I score a 3. I don't think it's going to make my top 25. But the Conviction Founders Reserve, that has a better chance of making it. So they'll have something in there. We got this Hardin's Creek Owl, which I reviewed on the channel, I think recently, possibly. I think so. Oh yeah, when I did the Jim Beam review and I had like 6 different Jim Beam bottles. I really enjoyed this bottle. So this is the 9th floor one, the owl one. Peanut, sweet oak on the palate, red fruit, sweet oak, strawberry, Laffy Taffy. On the finish, red fruit, sweet oak, vanilla, nutty. I scored a 3.8, so I really enjoyed this. Okay, then we have this Jack Daniel's Sweet Mash. This is fall 2025, 117 proof. I think this was a distillery only. My buddy who went there got it for me. Banana bread, sweet chocolate, dusty peanut butter. On the palate, peanut butter, oak, sweet, nutty, vanilla. On the finish, oak, marshmallow, vanilla, sweet. I scored 3.75. My wife absolutely loves this bottle to the point that I have another one of these bottles coming in the mail currently. Thanks, Ben. It's a small bottle as it is, and there's not too much left. So I'm not sure if it's going to make my top 25 or not, but it's one of her favorite things she's tried all the year. Okay, let's go into the next lineup. This is the last lineup. And again, this lineup and the previous lineup, they were drank over multiple hours, over 2 days. Some I would drink probably like 4. We ate dinner. Like that day I drank like another 4 or something like that. So I felt fine going through all of these. I had no issues. So these are pretty actually accurate reviews, except that they're just not blind like I usually do. Okay, so then we have Barrel King 12 Summer. So this is a Matt Porter blend. I've seen this on a couple people's lists of like top 10 bottles. This has been reviewed on the channel. This is one of the bottles that were in the SLB collab video. I really enjoy this bottle though. So this is on the nose, intense red fruit, sweet berries, oak. On the palate, red fruit, sweet candy, oak, milk chocolate. Finish, sweet oak, red fruit, peanut, and I scored 3.9. So I'm pretty sure this is gonna be in my top 25, but we shall see. And then we got this Pursuit Spirits Old Anvil. I got this at the Kentucky Bourbon Festival. This, if you guys remember that video, it was the second video, the one that I wasn't, complaining too much about the actual event. But this is the bottle that I got in line for right away, and I was the first person, and they only had 12 bottles of this. I remember it not being cheap for a tiny little bottle, but it is good. Nutty, funk, peanut butter, marshmallow, red fruit. On the palate, strawberry, oak, spice, sweet, nutty. On the finish, chocolate, sweet, oak, marshmallow. Scored that at 3.9. Tiny little bottle, but it is tasty. The Little Book Infinite 2. which again has been reviewed on the channel, but only once. That's why I had to do it again. Peanut oak, slight sourness, peanut butter. On the palate, bright red fruit, spice, Red Jolly Rancher, bright cherry, oak, vanilla, strawberry. On the finish, oak, peanut shell, sweet, red fruit, vanilla, strawberry. I scored that a 3.9. Actually, in order, I actually had the Jack Daniel's Sweet Mash in between this, so it wasn't 3 in a row that were 3.9 for you guys. 3.9s in a row. Okay, then we went to this Nashville Barrel Company. And this is, I got right from the distillery in Nashville. This is the Stella's, what's called Stella's Secret Stash. Light, sweet, red fruit, marshmallow on the nose, on the palate, oak, woody, spice wood, crafty, cardboard, cinnamon. On the finish, light, cinnamon, crafty, sweet. I scored that 3.45. And then we go to the Russell's Reserve 13. This is batch 6. So this is from this year. Calm down. Sweet and sour, savory, peanut butter nose, nutty, sweet, bright, hard candy. Red Jolly Rancher on the palate. On the finish, nutty, light, vanilla, peanut butter, sweet. I scored a 3.75. This is definitely going to be one of those fringe bottles because the scoring, basically to get into top 25, has to be over like a 3.8. And I almost feel like the Russell's 13's one time I've had it, because I think I reviewed it 4 times this year. I think one of the times I scored it pretty low when I compared it against the Russell's Reserve 13 batch 4 or whatever it was. We'll see if it makes it. All right, a bottle that everyone is saying is one of the top ryes of the year. This Old Overholt 12-year cash strength rye, and I have the 10 and the 11, so all year I thought I had this bottle, and apparently I did not. So I got it recently. Green Jolly Rancher, earthy, sweet on the nose, on the palate, sweet, rye spice, Red Jolly Rancher, oak, red fruit, green apples. On the finish, sweet, oak, chocolate, bourbon lovers rye, vanilla, slight herbal, red fruit. I scored that at a 4. That is a great score for a rye. Obviously, I didn't even score the Tanyard of 4, but I really enjoyed this bottle. So we'll see how it does versus the other ryes once we get to like the top 10 ryes or whatever list once we get there. And to finish off, this rare character, we call this the Rolex edition. This is another universal pick. So this one, best single barrel pick in Connecticut within the Connecticut Bourbon and Whiskey Enthusiast Facebook group. I actually had this and I never opened it. And so I was like, oh, one, I have this somewhere. So I cracked it open. So this is a fresh crack review. Sweet, earthy, cinnamon, red fruit, unique note, apple cider on the nose, on the palate, apple, red fruit, spicy on the tongue, spicy, vanilla. On the finish, sweet, vanilla, red fruit, nutty, peanut brittle, black tea. And I scored a 3.6 overall. I've had, in my opinion, better picks in Connecticut this year than this one, but this is an excellent bottle. His other pick, what we covered earlier, the Hasberry one, blows this one out of the park for me. But this is a great pick. I see why it got some love. For a liquor store that doesn't have crazy fanfare, to win a single barrel of the year is pretty incredible. So congratulations to Universal, Gil over there doing the picks. Great bottle. So that's that. I don't know how long this video is going to be, but I know some of you guys don't like this format. You guys probably aren't here at this point, but the guys that listen to this whole thing, thank you guys, women, whatever. But at least I can get a bunch of reviews in and kind of talk about a bunch of different bottles that I maybe haven't got on the channel this year. So if you had any questions about it. And in all these videos in the description, hopefully I do with this video too, because it's a lot of bottles. In the description of all my videos, I try to put the names of every bottle that's reviewed in there. So if you're on my YouTube channel and you're searching like a bottle, it should bring up that YouTube video right away. So I do that purposely so that you guys can find a review of a certain bottle quicker. Don't do nothing stupid. And if you do, don't get caught. Bye.